All right. And we're live. Deadman Stone Podcast. Your host, Mr. Deadman, Becky, and SK. How's it going?
Hey.
What's up, bitches?
It's been a while. It's good to have SK
Did
back.
we really miss him? I think we really miss him, though.
Yeah, why not?
Rumor has it.
Oh, man. So how was the panic room?
You know, it was. I had a good time. I had a good time.
Good.
Mostly interacted with Tina, and she's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. They want me to come back because Tina has these 11 questions she likes to ask her interviewees, and we got through about half of them.
Sounds like SK there. Yeah. But
hey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that is your winning quality right there, you know?
What's that?
That you could talk
Talking
a shit
a lot.
ton.
Gift of gab.
You could talk a shit ton, and it's interesting, you know? That is great. That's great. Well, that's cool. And the Panic Room, it's a good podcast. Definitely check it out. Any announcements we need to do real fast? Any ads or anything, Becky?
Just that the Ezan will be out shortly.
Oh, yeah. That is right. A new, and this is the deep fried horror, right? The deep fried horror?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Deep Fried Horror is a free-to-read e-zine that's available. It's, like I said, it's free, but you have to go to the Deadman Stone patron page to get it, but you don't pay anything. You don't even have to be a patron. You go there. The reason why you have to go there is WordPress won't let me host certain file types for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, anyway.
But we also have print too for the but
Man, I'm dropping I'm like lagged out for a second. Okay, we also have what?
We also have it the last issue out in print, and
we're
going to do it in print too.
Right. Okay. Well, there's that, and also our guest tonight, bam, Angela Shearer. Is that right? That is it?
You got it right. Yeah.
Oh, finally.
Oh my Lord.
I know.
How did you manage to? You try and get it wrong, and you get it right.
I know, right?
I'm terrified. The world has come to an end.
I have a great surname that means, hey?
And I will say
He always
this.
is slaughtering names.
There is one announcement that I do have to get out real fast.
Oh, Lord.
Red alert. Red alert. We might just have to bomb all Florida. And I'll tell you why. Nickolaus Pacione is active. Nickolaus Pacione is active, and I think we played a role in that. See, when we planned
We did, and damn it.
When we planned the Nickolaus Pacione show, people warned of the dangers that might ensue. But you know what happened?
He told our guest.
Well,
What?
yeah. He's targeting
our listeners.
He's targeting our listeners. Because I wanted to be some cocky adventurer. I want to be like Indiana Jones or something and pretend like it wouldn't affect me. And maybe it doesn't. I just went in. I said, fuck it. Fuck the optics. I'm going in. I want to wrinkle me some old low cow and drag him out to light and talk about him. But what happened was, I guess in the light, he saw all the people that were in the chat and the comment section, and he made a list. He's like the Santa Claus or Krampus or something, just making a list of all the people to go after.
More like Krampus.
Yeah. Just, okay, a shit list. Who am I going to go after this time? And that's what he's doing. So
you know, I gotta say, that's such bullshit because we treated him better than anybody treats him.
Oh, we did.
And for him to pull that shit is inexcusable.
Love.
You hear me, Nickolaus, Nicky,
And he's listening too.
If you're gonna pull shit like that on our show with our guests, you get called Nikki.
Oh man. Oh no. Oh no.
Well, you ain't getting the.
You want to be treated
getting the hijab.
Nikki, if you want to be treated like an adult, you have to act like an adult.
That's right. That's right, man.
Well, good luck with that.
Just ladies, gentlemen, if he comes to you, just block him. Block him and block him and block him some more. It's going to be like a game of whack-a-mole, but you just you block and you move on.
Oh my God.
You block them good and hard.
Oh, wait a minute. I have one more thing to say.
And you can't do it half-ass. Okay. Well, say it.
I have been watching some of the reaction videos that you've made,
Yeah?
and I'm kind of worried about you.
Why?
Well, first you're listening to boy bands.
Yeah. No, not just any boy bands. BTS, okay. K-pop.
Okay, well, okay. I kind of went, yeah, all right. But then, last night,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Yeah. Oh, yeah. America's sweetheart. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but your sweetheart.
Well, it just happens to be the same.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried, Jesse.
Oh. What are you worried about? What's wrong with this? Taylor Swift is cool. Come on. What? No, crickets.
I'll take your side. Lucy. I'll take your side. I like her.
Oh, thank you, Angela. Thank you so much.
Because my
It's
Lord.
you know what?
It's okay for you to like her, Angela, but
it's
it's
okay
Jesse.
for Angela to like her.
Oh, because I'm a guy.
Yeah, but Jesse.
Yes.
Because I'm a guy.
I mean, supposedly a guy.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, you have him wearing a dress, SK.
I know. This is not trending well for him.
Hey,
Next thing you know, it'll
Now
be.
he's talking about getting a waxing.
I'm getting a waxing. And
You're getting the waxing. Don't even think you're getting out of it because you ain't.
and I was reading my wife's Cosmo the other night.
Oh.
I
Jesse.
did buy. Oh, you know what I did the other night while listening to Taylor Swift? I was reading 17, a great magazine, by the way. I was reading 17 and just going through all my crushes, all my high school crushes. Why I was doing this as a 36-year-old man, I have no idea, but that's what was happening.
Jesse.
Yeah.
You're not
Jesse.
supposed to have high school crushes.
Boy bands.
Oh yeah.
Boy bands. Taylor Swift. A dress. Cosmo. 17 and a waxing.
Okay,
Do I need to send
hold
you
on,
metal
hold on.
videos?
Huh.
Hold on. I want to give him. I
You
want
might have a problem
to say,
here.
Cosmo's not such a bad deal, actually. I mean, if
Okay, all
a lot
right.
of
We'll
chicks in
scratch
there.
the Cosmo thing, but
there's a lot of
17
good-looking women in there. Yeah, 17.
And, I mean, do I need to order you?
Need to order me
Eyeshadow?
what? You know what? I'm not ashamed of this, Becky. You can't shame me.
Bring me.
I am a Taylor Swift fan. Okay, I'm a Taylor Swift fan. You know why? She's not a tramp like those
Lord.
other pop stars. She's not a tramp. She has class. Okay, she's a country girl sweetheart. She's like the girl next door. Okay, she might be a little too hot to handle.
So am I.
Oh, and that's why you don't like her. That's why you don't like her. You see, because you see you and her. That's what's going on here.
No,
Oh,
no, not at all.
then you're seeing what you wish it could be, and you gotta listen to me because I'm wearing this hood.
No,
I'm like a Jedi
not at
now.
all.
See, look, I'm like Obi-Wan over here.
Are you though?
Kinda. All right. So I guess we're gonna have a Taylor Swift intervention or something one day. Is that what's gonna happen?
You know, Just because you're wearing a bathrobe does not make you Obi-Wan.
Okay. Anyway, Angela, are you still there?
Yeah. I'm
All
still
right.
here.
I'm going to ask you.
Hiding.
I'm going to ask you the key question I ask all the guests.
Yeah.
Who are you and what do you do?
Let's start with what I do. Hey, so my day job, I'm a project manager for a bank, and I implement IT security solution.
Oh.
Yeah, I also have two of my own companies. So, which are the one I have a partner in, who also is my boyfriend. That's a company called Bad Badger. We do bee farming. So basically, we have a couple of hives out on people's properties who have the space, and we have our setups going there so that we can harvest the honey, and then we basically sell the honey. So we do that as a conservation give back, really, but also because I really like the name Bad Badger, and I decided we just had to build that brand.
It is a great name.
It is.
We actually came up with that one day when we were busy driving down to the Drakensberg, and I don't know about you guys, but here we've got these little stalls on the side of the road as you're driving through the country, where they sell farm produce. So you'll pick up things like we call it jam. I don't know what you guys call it. It's like preserves, I guess.
Jelly,
Jam.
jam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, jam. And then they also sell like what we call rusks. I don't know if you guys have rusks. It's like biscuits. And then they sell honey as well. So it's anything that really the people make, or this more or less homemade. And they had like really cool stuff, but the names were so bad. And that was how I came up with Bad Badger, because I was judging the names when we started.
Bad Badger.
I like that name.
Isn't that a good name?
And,
It is.
I said to my boyfriend, if I had my own honey brand, I would call it, Bad Badger, because that's cool. So by the time we got to our destination, we had a full business plan. so anyway, Bad Badger was born eventually. And then through the writing, I then registered another company called Ripley Archer, which is also my alias, which just took off amazing, because Ripley's got a bit of sass. And I started providing writing services through Ripley Archer. So, it just becomes easier to keep everything sort of separate. So I keep my project manager life, one bee life separate, and then writing life also.
And you said that was Ripley Archer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. No, hold on here. You do IT, work in IT at a bank, in their security. You would be like you would have to be on my. I need to send you an invite to my group. It's kind of like an Ocean's 8 thing, okay? But we got to keep it hush hush. All right? You hear what I'm saying? Be like, shh. We got a tight team on this. A tight team. I'll talk to you later about that. So how long have you been writing?
Since I was a kid, actually, the earliest memory I have of it, I was writing a bit of a script, I guess, if I had to give it a name now, sort of putting together a little play. And I grew up in the country here in a place called Delmas, where there's really not much going on. Back then, we didn't even have much TV. I think TV used to start at 8 o'clock at night and end at 10 o'clock at night. Or
Whoa, what?
Maybe marginally earlier.
I can imagine that. TV starting at 8
Yeah.
at night and ending at 10 at night?
Yeah, it was like a 2-hour stint, and then it kind of got progressively longer, We even used to have a test pattern. We used to sit and watch the test pattern and wait for something to come on. I think the only program we had was like Dallas, which was great, Knots Landing, Knight Rider,
Oh, man.
Yeah, Knight Rider.
Classics.
Yeah, and so that was how I started the writing, I guess, because I had to do something, and that was really my earliest memory. And then at school, when everyone else was studying and you had to sit in class and study, then I would just take a book and I would just write. So everyone thought I was studying, but I actually wasn't. So I was making up stories.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really a long time.
Okay, cool. I'd imagine so. I imagine you have to start writing with, you got to do something. You got to do something with all that time to entertain yourself.
Yeah.
Man, we could use some of that. Our problem over here is, especially now, we have so much to distract ourselves with. Good luck getting started with anything. Man.
Yeah, I think that's for all of us. I mean, even for me now. I mean, I actually used to have TV, and I just don't have it anymore because it's so distracting. So I actually had it switched off.
Oh.
Because you end up wasting hours and hours, you know.
Like no TV at all, like not even the TV screen or anything. Just.
Yeah, I got a TV, so I'll still do a movie every now and again.
Okay.
But I don't sit and just binge watch one thing after the other, and I never rewatch. That for me is the biggest waste of time, is to sit and rewatch something you've seen. Yeah.
Now, as a writer, starting your writing, all that, who are your influences?
My favorites are Dean Koontz and Stephen King, and Wilbur Smith, I guess, because he's quite different. So he's not the horror sort of genre. But that's what I read as a kid, because my brother loved Stephen King, so I just used to go and take his book. Dean Koontz I used to pick up wherever, you know. People used to have the hardcovers and everyone had a bookshelf, you know, and then books just kind of used to move between houses. And then Andre Brink, who's actually a South African author, he's passed away though, but his stuff was really amazing, and he was also very classic. So I think those were my biggest influences.
Okay. Now,
so tell us about your new book.
My new book is...
you have one just come out, right?
Yes, that's the Book of Menace.
Book of Menace, okay.
So the Book of Menace is actually a book in the book. The Book of Menace is kind of like the guide that budding witches and wizards use to teach them. You know, so it's kind of like the business book for witches and wizards. Yeah, but it teaches them a little bit wrong, right? So it kind of teaches them like these are the rules, but all rules should be broken at some point. So, so the Book of Menace is it's a bit dodgy, yeah. But the actual book itself, I worked like a beast over December to try and get it finished, because that was supposed to be my goal for 2018. I had all the content. I've had it for about 10 years. And I'd actually submitted the book. Yeah, I'd submitted the book about 10 years ago to a publisher. And amazingly, they came back with a 6-page crit, if you can imagine that, because they generally don't do that.
Yeah, there's so much I want to unpack here. Not to interrupt, it's just... So wait, it's a book within a book. You mean the book... is it written as if it's trying to teach wizards and witches things, or is it just...
No, so the story is it's basically a girl's journey to finding herself and the different adventures that she needs to go through to get there, because she needs to save what I call the old city. Magic has gone wrong, and basically when she ends up at a school called the Simon Magus Academy, the Book of Menace is one of their workbooks that they use. So it's really her story. It's there's a lot of moral dilemma in the story. There's a lot of philosophy in the story, but there's also a lot of sort of wit and magic and twists and turns, you know. Just and the Book of Menace, I think, is only briefly mentioned 2 or 3 times, but she uses it in what they call conduct class. So that's where they learn, sort of how to conduct themselves as magical creatures. Yeah.
You said combat class.
Conduct, like ethics.
Okay.
So it's like ethics for wizards.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, but I like combat too. Combat works.
I like that too. I was like, holy hell, this gets active real quick. It's like.
Yeah. Did I finish the question? I can't remember now.
Well, you're telling us about Book of Menace now. I'm pretty sure we have some questions. I know I have some.
I was telling you about the publisher, and I got the 6-page crit back.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, let's go there.
So they said, like great book, just fix it, right? And I guess my present self is a bit disappointed about my past self because I actually realized that I did submit shit. Like it was full of spelling errors. The whole story didn't tie together well. It was just like, you learn these things through experience, right? So it was just shit. And I had to fix it. But I think it's like you get to a point, I don't know, SK, you would know, if you get to a point with your work where you're just so nauseous with it, you're so done. Because you like have no desire to actually think about it or look at it or touch it.
And so you have no perspective anymore either.
Yeah, you don't. You can't be perspective, and you actually don't even know how it reads to somebody else, or even if someone's going to like it, because you just start to hate it. So what had happened with that book is I'd actually written a monthly short story for an airline magazine for their kids mag. So I don't want to. I simplified the stories. I want to say I dumbed them down for the sake of the audience because it was a very junior audience.
Okay.
So the stories lacked a maturity and an interest from a more mature audience, right? So I didn't want to go for kiddies. I didn't want to write kiddies books.
Yeah.
I wanted to write fantasy that adults would still enjoy. So I actually had to rework what I'd done and mature the writing and mature the story so that it would be interesting to a much larger audience. So that's where the real work came in, is that there was a lot of rethinking and a lot of redoing, and I really hate to redo. So eventually I took all the points that they'd made in the 6-page crit and I just fixed it. I just sat this December and I just did what needed to be done. And I thought it was amazing. So I enjoyed it. And I think after a 10-year gap, between last reading the stories, it was actually quite fun to read them again, and then I had perspective.
You mean to tell me you actually took the feedback and used it?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Eventually.
My whole stuff was bad. That was just... So and then I decided not to go the traditional route and send it back to the publisher. I actually decided just to go indie again because it's easier and better, and I preferred the freedom of it.
Well, that's another question in itself. I mean, let's talk about that a little bit. Indie versus traditional. I mean, how does it compare? What are your thoughts on that?
It's been a bit of a journey for me because I've had a couple of people I know sort of pull their noses up at the indie thing and they go, "Oh, you self-published." And then I think, what are you trying to say? So does that mean the book's not really published then? Or, you kind of want to get a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
But I maintain, if your book is selling, it's published, right? If your book is selling and you're making money, who cares how you actually publish the thing?
That is it. That is the thing.
It's all about marketing. It's about how it's positioned. It's about how it's received. And if you put professional work out there, why does somebody else have to put their name on it to say this is worthwhile?
Why does somebody else have to take a cut? That's the other thing.
Right.
Like 70% cut of your work and you get shit back.
That is right.
That's true.
That's right. By the way, just to say,
and for what? And what do they? A lot of traditional publishers, they don't put a lot of work into a book unless it's at the top of the list.
No, exactly. And besides that, though, let's also be fair, right? Why would a traditional publisher take an unknown author and try and send them to the top of the charts? It doesn't make sense from a marketing point of view for them.
It does not.
There's no. Just go for the easy pickings. Go for the guys who already have a name, who already have a following. They sell millions of copies and wham. They don't even have to put the work in. But I think what happens, people sensationalize the idea of writing, and they think that you're supposed to write a book. Big traditional publisher finds you, sends you to the top, and boom, you JK overnight.
Yeah.
It's a dream, and it's not true. And people believe the damn movie. And I wish it was true because, damn, I would love that money. But the reality is it's a slog. And it's like one foot in front of the other, and it's one sale at a time. And if you reach a tipping point, that's awesome. But there's so much content out there. You can't be that vain that you think, even if your work is amazing, you can't be deluded into thinking it's going to kick everybody else's ass and you're going to make it to the top. Awesome if you do. But there's a real world that we live in, right? So, and I think a lot of people who aren't in the industry, who don't write, still have that deluded view of publishing and where you're supposed to be. And if you're not like living on an island with a helicopter by now, your book must have And I realized it's actually people who know you. So the people who see you a long time, your friends, your colleagues, those people. There's a lot of them actually who don't want you to succeed because they basically use you as their barometer for their own success. So
I know people like that.
For them, right?
Me too.
But what you said is spot on, and a lot of people don't like to hear it. In fact, some people, some writers listen to me be like, nah, that's not true. But think about it. Like, what she said is very true. On a business perspective, why take on somebody you don't even know? Oh, because their writing is talented? Because they write a good story? Are you kidding me? Have you seen the stuff that traditional publishers have been putting out? 50 Shades of Grey was published. Okay? Like, come on now. And have you noticed the pattern?
That's awesome advertising, right? It just shows you the power of marketing.
Yeah. It's marketing.
It's marketing, and it was fresh and amazing marketing, and still is.
And the thing is, she started tradition. Oh no, sorry. She started indie or self-publish, really fan fiction, but then she changed it to self-publish, and it was like, okay, it's selling, and it was picked up by a traditional publisher with a big deal, So of course she's going to say yes to it. So that's been happening. You'll see that there's people who take the indie route, which it's not an easy route. Don't think it's like, oh yeah, I get it. I'm the gatekeeper. It's going to be so easy. No, if you're the gatekeeper, you're the one holding yourself in check. And you're also the one that has to do the marketing and all that other work. But
that's fun, hey, for me.
It can be fun. It's also going to be hard.
I enjoy it too.
I hate it.
It's constant.
We need to get SK to take some selfies.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I hate about the marketing is that it's constant. It never stops. Like, I feel like there's never a break. You just have to keep on, and then find creative ways to get the message out there. Like a lot of people on Twitter or Facebook, they post posts. I'm sorry?
Does Facebook really sell anything anymore? Really?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. But Facebook and Twitter and like all these authors are like,
if you post in the right groups.
That's it. But even not groups. So what I've discovered, right, is I think we also get things wrong in the indie sort of setup is that we think that a like or a view should translate to a sale, but it doesn't. So the work that I've done with my alias, Ripley Archer, I really created her as a test, right? Because I wanted to see if people would follow someone who doesn't exist and follow a book that has not been written.
They will.
And friend someone who doesn't have any credibility or contacts, right? So my alias has been alive, let's say, for 5 months. And Ripley's already got 26,000 followers across the different cyber platforms, right?
Oh,
which
wow.
is amazing.
Crap.
Right? And I mean, it's still not high. 26 is not high for if you just look at like what, like really serious published or famous authors have got. But for someone who doesn't exist and has not written a book yet, it's damn high.
It's really high. Yeah.
I've been offered 3 legit jobs on my LinkedIn page.
Oh, bless you.
Bless you.
Sorry.
So I've been offered jobs through my alias. And they were legit offers, So it's amazing. It just shows you the power of marketing. What I've learned through doing that also is that people will follow and people will watch and they like to see, but they need something credible when they're going to come to parting with their money. When you're doing a boost, when you're on your author page, Facebook, and you're boosting your posts there, you got to know who to boost to. That's the trick. And those boosts, again, then create a much larger spread. And you then get a whole lot more people actually buying. So I find that my actual Facebook page, as in my own personal page, doesn't translate to any buyers. I might get a lot of likes, but it doesn't actually translate into money.
Yeah.
But on my actual boosts that I put out, those do. Again, you got to know your audience, and there's got to be repetition. So they might not buy the first time, but when they see, oh, there's that book again, oh, there's that book again, that's when they start, it's repetition. So that's where marketing starts to work, right? That's the 50 Shades of Grey. It worked because it was on everybody's lips. The fact that lots of people couldn't get through it is a different story. They spent the money and they didn't come for refunds.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So,
Besides, half the people didn't even read it. You know?
But that's the thing, is that if your product is good and it sells to a few, it's going to pick up momentum and it will reach a tipping point at some point. But again, it depends why you're writing. When you're writing for fame and fortune, if you're doing it for that, it's the wrong thing. If you're writing because you want to get out there and do something,
You dork.
if you're writing because you have an audience that you want to entertain, different story.
That makes sense. Oh, by the way, let's get the likes up. Let's get 5 likes. Right now we only have 3. Come on. Let's get 5. I found this, some people call it like, bitch liquor, puta liquor, whatever you want to call it. I found this in the fridge. I can tell you this.
You mean girl alcohol?
Girl alcohol. I'm sorry.
And now you're drinking girly drinks.
You know what?
Oh, it just keeps getting better.
Does it come with a little umbrella inside?
Do I need to buy you heels and stockings?
You don't have to.
Does your wife know?
I have them already. No.
Oh my God.
And send us pictures.
I'm sorry?
Send us pictures.
Oh, you want pictures? Well, I gotta charge for that.
I'll pay.
I gotta be
I've got money. I got PayPal.
I'd be like the Instagram models. I'll charge for that. All right. Well, tell us about one. While we wait for the likes to get up, tell us about one of your other books, because you got like Mad Mischief and Scarlet Code. Mad Mischief.
Okay,
yeah. Mad Mischief kind of caught my eye. Let's talk about that.
So Mad Mischief is a book of short stories. One of my favorite things of Stephen King was his Skeleton Crew. That was one of my favorite books as a kid. I enjoyed the short stories because you could just get through one quickly, before bed. So over the years, I kind of use short stories as my, I guess it's kind of like my writing burpees. So I do a short story every now and again when I'm not writing continuously, just to keep my skills. So that was a collection of all the short stories that I'd written over sort of a period of 5 years. Really just playing around with ideas and stuff, and then I just tidied them up and put them together in a book. So if anybody wanted to read them, they could. That's the story of Mad Mischief. There's lots of book stories in there, SK. Those are the ones that actually I was talking about on Facebook. So if you had a look at some of those, I've actually worked those stories in.
I see.
So that's
okay.
Yeah, and then the Scarlet Code was my very first book, which I've actually discontinued. And the reason I discontinued it was because more men bought the book than women. And they asked me why I'd only written it for women, because they didn't know that stuff. And I just assumed like men knew stuff.
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news. I'm sorry. Breaking news. Okay. Let me do this. Red alert. Red alert. Red alert. Red alert. We got 7 likes and we got 1 dislike. Nickolaus Pacione was listening. All right.
Or the other one.
Or Josh Darling, whoever, someone else. Koga, someone else. I don't know. Someone did it. That's okay. But I'll take that shot. Me. And so if I were to pick up Mad Mischief, like what is one of your favorite short stories in this collection, and why?
I think in that story, Hella's Mansion is one of my favorite stories.
You said Hell is Mansion?
Hella.
Oh, Hella.
Hella is
Hella.
Oh.
Yeah, Hella.
I say Hell
and
is.
And Hella's Mansion.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and Hella's Mansion is really an antique store. but it's got all these amazing things. And the woman who owns the place is very flamboyant, and she's a big lady, but she's very well put together and very glamorous. And there's 2 orphan girls who come and hang around in the mansion, just to touch the furniture and be out of the streets, I guess. And they discover a portal through a puppet theater on their journey, and they end up going on this adventure to look for the goddess coins. It sounds very simple as I say it like that, but it's really a story of struggle. And I think, again, there's a lot of psychological stuff in it, of the homelessness and the vulnerability. So all my stuff always has a deeper meaning. There's always a deeper sort of thread and moral to most of the stuff that I write. I guess it's my way of purging and making sense of the world. So I do that through stories. So there's a lot of myself, and in what the characters go through. It's the way I get perspective.
No, I like that.
Makes
a lot of
sense.
writers put a lot of their own personal, personal events into the stories, one way or the other. So in what way, and if you're willing to share, really, sometimes they get real personal, which I don't mind.
I don't mind.
Are there any significant events that inspire, your own personal events that inspire your short stories or novels?
Yeah, so mostly. I think, so the Book of Menace is an interesting one, in fact, because when I was writing the short stories for the airline mag, I had to come up with a new story every month. So that's like every 3 weeks you got to come up with something cool. And it was quite hard, especially for kids, because you kind of got to fit something into 1,500 words that's going to really hold a young and active mind. And I never wanted to talk down to the kids. I never wanted to undermine their intelligence by being overly simplistic or childish. So, because children have their own struggles, right? It's almost like we can imagine that we think often they have, like, what's the greatest worry? They must just worry about what's going on at school or something. Everything else is taken care of. But that's not necessarily the case for majority of the children. I think they have much greater struggle than most people realize. So when I was writing the stories, I would actually take whatever was happening in my life or my daughter's life at the time, and I would basically write a short story around that. So if she was being bullied at school, or someone was trying to bully me at work, let's say, then I would just turn that person into a creature, and then I would write the story around what had happened. So because of that, I've got characters like Madness in my story and Sadness. They're actual people. And Misery was a person. So those stories are written from personal experience and what was going on at the time. And there's a richness in them, because you actually, when you go back and you read them, you actually remember, like my daughter said, oh, this one was so-and-so that you wrote about.
That's cool. I like that.
A lot. But then it really talks to individuals, because...
I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry, you cut out real fast.
It's something people experience. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So it becomes easy for people to relate to, and writing should be like that. People should be able to place themselves in the story.
Oh, yeah,
and
definitely.
go, yeah, I know how that feels. Yeah, or even sometimes they find an answer in that. They go, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I respond like that? Or I can. So I like people to read stuff and learn from it, and maybe even take something from it. And inject that into their own lives.
That's true. I mean, a powerful story is one that connects to the readers. Gets them involved. They feel like it connects.
We lost Jesse.
No, I'm here. What, you guys can't hear me? Oh, but they can hear me on the show. One moment.
I can hear you.
Now. We can hear you now. You cut out for a sec.
I was saying, it's very powerful. It's very important for a story to connect with readers. So, yeah.
Well, not only that, but if you want to get a point across, a story is really the best way to do it, rather than lecturing, haranguing people and, pointing at them and say, you need to do this different. People aren't receptive to that shit.
No, not at all.
You gotta but you entertain them and you sneak the lesson in, through a side door.
Yeah.
They're much more open to that.
Yeah, it's like you have to make them think it's their idea. And there you go.
Kind of like men.
Yep.
Everything.
You ready to get into some real trouble?
Except for Taylor Swift.
Oh, no. Taylor Swift. Don't criticize her.
No, just no. No.
You see,
You know
what Jesse does not understand is that this has been a subversive mission on the part of his wife for like 3 years now, and it's just finally bearing fruit. And he thinks it's his idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And I'm
exactly
trying
it.
to save him, and he's being resistant.
That's exactly it. She was like, "You've been listening to a lot of K-pop, BTS. I don't even know what the hell that is, but you don't listen to Taylor Swift." I was like, I never really tried. I don't really have anything against her. She can play guitar. She does her own music. She can do it. She has skill. She can sing. She can perform. She writes. So like, maybe I need to give it a chance. I'll give it a chance. And I gave it a chance. And there you go.
Jesse. Sucker.
Don't judge, because I also listen.
I'm sending you a CD.
Of what? Metallica?
Taylor.
Oh, I already have them.
Oh.
I would buy you a CD. You already bought them all?
I don't have to. My wife already owns them.
Next thing
How
you'll
have you
know,
not-
it'll be concert
Your wife
tickets.
wife has Taylor Swift albums, and you can actually expect us to believe you've not heard her music.
I never really actually listened. Like, I didn't even say that in the reaction video. Like, I know what you guys are gonna think, and what you guys are gonna say. Like, oh, this isn't really a first reaction. Like, I never really reacted. Like, what I mean is, I would like passively listen, not really give a fuck. Like, what the fuck is this? Put my own headphones in and just ignore it. But Here we go. And this is coming from the same person who still listens to Slayer and Slipknot, Metallica, Pantera, hell, J-Metal.
You mean
now.
you used to?
No, I still do. I still do. I still do.
Yeah, I saw you dancing and singing and shit last night. Don't be telling me lies.
I was dancing and I was singing. I'm not telling you lies.
You were dancing and singing and doing the hand movements and chair dancing and
you know what? RC,
you were tearing it up.
RC Mohair, you are right. See, Taylor Swift is adorable. Here's what I like about Taylor Swift, okay? It's her image. All the other pop stars, they sell themselves on sex and sex appeal. Taylor has that a little bit, but she doesn't really flaunt it as... She flaunts her cute factor. She flaunts the I am just beautiful. Like, but it's a beauty that can be attained. It's not like this large ass that's larger than life. It's not like tits hanging out. Like Britney Spears.
So you've been looking at Taylor's ass?
No, but
Yes,
what?
yeah,
Yeah, might as well to say it.
Comparing.
And just
Compare and
comparing.
contrast.
Compare and contrast.
Pop art ass.
Britney Spears was all like, I'm a naughty schoolgirl and all this other shit, stripper, prostitute, whatever the fuck. And you have
But you didn't like any of that, right?
I mean, it was too obvious what it was doing.
Yeah.
And it was dirty. It was grimy. I was like, come on. Like, what is this? What is this? Taylor is like, I don't know.
But
She's
yet you
more
had listened
refined.
to Britney Spears before, but not Taylor.
Taylor's much better than Britney Spears. Taylor's
No.
much
You're
better
missing my point.
Okay, what's your point?
My point was you had listened to Britney Spears before, but you had not listened to Taylor.
Well, yeah, I mean, I grew up in the 90s. And
Okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, it was on the radio. Now that I lost...
So it's been Taylor.
Yeah, but
I'm not going to give you an inch with this. You do know this.
So,
Yes.
Angela.
All right.
Sorry,
Hello.
Angela.
You know what? I think it's a good time. Angela, I want to ask you about the bees real fast, and I want to move into horrible covers and then our news thing. So
Okay.
the bees. What's happening with the bees? Because
Bees have been in the news the last couple of years.
Yeah, everyone on Reddit is like, "Oh my God, bees are dying. It's going to be the end of the world." Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It's bad. So with everything becoming more and more built up, and with farmers using more and more pesticides and stuff, the bee population is suffering massively worldwide. So, but basically what we do, even, we keep the hives out of my dad's plot where he stays. He's got like a lot of food around there in terms of like blue gum trees and stuff like that. And then when the farmers plant, like when they plant the beans, then we'll actually move the hives to the bean fields when the flowers are in bloom. And
Oh, cool.
the bees work like crazy for those couple of weeks that the flowers are out. And
Like
then
busy
we have
little bees.
Yeah, busy little bees, and then we have to go move the hives again because they have to spray the crops around there. So it's easy if you've got a hive actually doing it, and you can actually help them and move them. But if the bees just make a hive somewhere there, they'll be killed in the process. So that's why human intervention is required, you see, so that you can actually move the hives around and keep the swarms alive. The reality is that without bees, there's no pollination, so there's no food. So, we do a little bit that we can. At the moment, we've only got, I think we've got about 40 hives, maybe a little bit more. But we're building it slowly because myself and Francois both work full time. So logistically, it's quite difficult. It's not something that we can do every day. But yeah, we give back, and I think if more and more people were doing it, even if like here and there people just had a couple of hives and were helping out, it would make a huge difference.
We have a local honey guy who sells his honey, and he does it. He sells it like he has like generic honey, but he also has special flavors based on what crops the bees have pollinated, and you can really taste the difference.
Yeah. So
do you do that?
We do. So we've got hives. The ones at my dad's place is more blue gum than anything else, so it has a very distinct flavor. Then we've got Friends with Property in the Cradle of Humankind, which is probably sort of at 100 k's in the opposite direction from where my dad is. And those hives, they're surrounded by a lot of different wild flora. So that's just called wild flora honey. It's beautiful. The bean honey, for instance, is very light.
Did you just say the Cradle of Humankind? What?
Yes. You must actually go Google
it's an area.
Oh.
It's an area.
Okay.
Go Google it. It's very famous, yeah. They actually found some very old skeletons there.
Dr. Leakey, right?
It was Mrs. Place, I think, is the name of the skeleton that they found there. Our ancestors apparently came from the Cradle of Humankind. Go and Google. There's a whole write-up, and it's very interesting. But they have the most amazing plants in the area. And the honey is incredible that it comes from there.
I'll have to look into that, yeah.
Yeah, and then the bean, the honey that comes from the bean fields is very, very light. So it's almost transparent. It's so light. It almost the color of water in the combs, and it's not as sweet as the other honeys. So it's very, very different for different areas, and even the color and the taste is vastly different.
So what happens when all the bees die?
We die.
Well, we hope we die. Yeah.
Now,
not right away, but it won't take
instantaneous.
long.
Like, what happens?
No, it would be over a period because we'd run out of food. That's what would kill us. Is there'd be no food.
Now, is there a way to make robotic bees? I'm just trying to think.
Actually.
Oh my Lord!
Remember something there was? They had made robotic bees.
Like, could they make bee drones? I'm just trying to think of solutions.
Bees are drones.
We're going to give you a long
Robo-bee drones.
Send you out in the field.
Yeah.
Probably. While listening to Taylor Swift. That sounds like a good
Yeah.
plan. I like that, actually. Not that I'm a Debbie Downer or anything.
Oh,
it's just,
my Lord.
I see, it can, because what? Because the bees die because we drop pesticides, right? Well,
but here's the thing: is we've been using pesticides for 100 years. Why are the bees dying now?
yeah.
I just think, I think there's a lot of theories.
Stronger chemicals.
But also built up areas. People don't want bees. So like here, for instance, I mean, I don't know, you guys, I think your bees are not so dangerous. Our bees, one bee can kill you if you are allergic.
The wild bees.
Yeah. That's why people are like, fuck it. Fuck bees. But then we need bees. If we kill the bees, we kill ourselves. They're not like sharks. If we kill the sharks, we don't die, right?
Well, we don't know, but maybe not.
Maybe not. But let's not kill all the sharks. But
so we have somehow managed to import these African killer bees, which are huge. Don't you have them down there in Texas?
Yeah.
Because they've come up from South America.
Yeah.
They're nasty little motherfuckers.
There's a big thing in like the 90s. Africanized killer bees are coming in. Watch out for the Africanized killer bees.
There was a reason for that. You know that?
What was that?
No.
There's the story that I heard, and I mean, again, I stand under correction, but because it's hearsay, right? But my understanding was that the South African bees produce a lot more honey a lot faster. They are very aggressive, but they're great little producers. So the story I heard was that they actually exported the bees there to try to up the honey production.
So wait a second.
So
You tell me.
around that.
Then they got wild. They got into the wild.
Yeah, they said the bees were lazy.
Whoa.
Well, you know what? They've
Time out.
gotten the job done so far.
Time out. I'm hearing some stereotypes being thrown up.
These little guys up.
You telling me that bees from South America, bees from Mexico, came in to steal the American bees' jobs because American bees got too lazy? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly that. Even the South African bees came in to come and like sort your guys out.
This is too real. It's like the bees are parallel to how we are in our own countries. It's
You're
crazy.
just going to feel sorry for the bees now, right? When you see them, you're going to go, come here, little guy. Give him a little bit of sugar water. He'll love you.
No, I'm telling the bee, get out of my garage. Sorry.
Go do some work.
Sorry. I won't try to kill him. I'll just kind of swat around him. Get out. I don't want my
That's
son to
you
get
need it.
stung. I don't want my son or daughter to get stung. Just get out of the garage.
Yeah, these African killer bees, they're like twice the size of normal honeybees at least, and they do tend to attack in swarms.
You know why they do that? So what happens is as soon as you get stung by one, they let off a pheromone in that sting. So if you get stung by one, all of them are going to come sting you in that same place where the other one stung you.
Now, so we have hornets and wasps, and some of them, like a honeybee, is reluctant to sting you because it will die.
Yes.
But a hornet doesn't give a shit because it can sting you all day long.
They just keep on. Yeah. And they don't make honey.
And they don't make honey. Yeah.
They don't give back. They just hurt you. That's all.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
We don't.
Let's
And they steal the bees and they torture them and they're horrible. They actually abduct bees. Have you seen that?
what?
Yeah. I will send SK. I will find something and I'll
They
post it on
kidnap
Facebook.
bees and torture them?
Yeah, they're really horrible.
Who's torturing bees and why? What?
Hornets
I like-
are.
Hornet.
I saved the bees with the hornets.
Wow. That's,
Kill the hornets, save the bees.
that's like an insect warfare. What's going on there? Like, so hornets will
Man,
steal
I
the bees.
thought that shit only happened with ants when it comes
No.
to, insects, but not lovely little bees. And I don't know if you've heard, do you have bumblebees in Africa?
Oh,
Because I've heard that bumblebees are dying out. in the
Yeah,
U.S.
Yeah, all bees.
All bees are dying, SK.
Yeah.
Well, especially bumblebees. Apparently, that's a new thing.
Now, are bumblebees the fat, lazy American bees?
No, they're foreigners.
They're kind of slow.
They work.
They're slow though.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're slow.
So,
They sound American. They're slow.
And even their buzz is slow.
Yeah. They just.
let's see who could we ascribe them to really insult them.
Hey, Angela, do you have the stream? Like, are you able to see it?
No.
Oh man. Okay,
What?
we're gonna play a game called Horrible Covers. You won't be able to see it, but we could describe it to you.
Okay.
But now, Becky, you found these covers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know what they are and what are they? Let me get it all set up here. Let me take down this book here and. All right, so we're playing a game called Fake or Fucked, and what you see there now is just as a cover from the previous show. Let me change that real fast. Oh, wrong thing. Okay, here we go. Now I hope
What
I
are
got.
you putting up first?
Let's see. Let me go there. Let me go to the folder. I'm picking up God's Fire. Is
Okay.
just because that's the
Go
first
for it.
one I saw.
Okay.
All right, so right now on the screen is a book called God's Fire by Cynthia Felice.
Felice, yeah.
Cynthia Felice.
Catwoman.
Oh, do you see that Catwoman? That Catwoman has a nice, yeah. Let's just
Tail.
yeah, a nice tail. I never thought
You forgot about Taylor all of a sudden.
yeah, I did. If
He
because
wants to tailor her.
look at which care they put in that
stuff
curve.
everywhere.
In the
Damn
curve
it,
in that
okay.
rump. Look at that. See, I'm still admiring it. I'm like, man, okay. Anyway,
I'm sure you are.
I am. And so is the guy. Look at Jesus, short-haired Jesus over here.
Well, he just went in for a style.
Yeah.
Supercuts.
Is that a mushroom cloud coming out of his back? What is that?
That's a stone formation.
Rocky. Yeah.
Okay. And that's a UFO, or is that a no? That's
There's
not
a UFO. Yeah, it's a UFO. Looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, coming out of the cat head.
Yeah.
And there's a cat head, board with the whole
eyelashes.
thing.
The cat
With
head
eyebrows. A
eyelashes.
cat with eyebrows.
And eyelashes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Question: is that the face of the cat lady?
Probably.
No.
No, I think.
So all right. So two things, guys. You could send these via the Skype chat to Angela.
I think. Yeah, I think we're doing that now.
So you know that
Becky's doing
phenomenon where you see somebody from behind, you go, oh man, that is so good looking, and then you see the face and you go, no.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking.
It's
Yeah, I think we're on
but
the
this
same.
cat with eyebrows looks really bored with the whole process here.
Yeah, it does, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now
Like,
So is it real or not real?
Yeah, that's the question.
I think
Is this real?
really looks real to me.
Yeah.
What say you, Jesse?
I would go with real, especially since there's a quote on the top with some of the most unusually ingenious scenery in recent sci-fi. All right. Are they talking about the cover? Talking about that ass? Jesus. All right.
So what's the verdict?
Is it
Is
fake?
it or isn't it? I think it's real.
Oh, it's fucked. All right, it's real. All right, let me
It's
go.
real.
All right, let me get a new one. Let's see.
Do the raptor one next.
Oh, okay. I'll do that one. This one's great. The cover is called "Mating with the Raptor" by Christy Sims. What?
Are these new books? Or old books?
This one I think would be new. This definitely reeks of modern age, like photoshopping.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
Mating raptor. That's
mating with the raptor.
Real or not?
I would say this one is real.
I'm afraid this might be I'm afraid this might be a real. I mean, look at the raptor going. Look at the bazongas. He's like waga ooga ooga.
He is.
I think the raptor is real.
Oh yeah, the raptor is real.
So shall I tell you now whether it's real or not?
I know it. No, not only is it real, but I bet you it's like 4-star.
That's just plain disturbing.
What is this? What is this? This is the thing that drives me crazy about some things. You see, like under her right armpit, there's this light gray, dark gray business going on. What the fuck is that? Oh, is that raptor tail?
Oh, that might be the raptor tail.
It's the print
Yes,
on his dress.
it's the raptor. It's raptor butt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
Okay, so it's real, and
I was
it's 3.5
afraid it might
stars, Jesse.
3.5. Oh man, how many reviews?
Yes, hold on, I'm looking.
Probably like
7.
5. 7.
7. Mhm.
7.
Mm-hmm.
That means like 4 of them gave it like 4 or 5 stars. Okay. Huh. Sounds pretty good to me. How many pages is it?
Oh dear.
17.
17
What,
pages.
17 pages? 17 pages. Oh, it's a short story. It's a really short story.
And how much does it cost? Like $2?
It's free on Kindle Unlimited, and I swear to God, if you go and get this, I am gonna smack you silly.
I'm gonna go and get it.
No, Jesse, no.
It's gonna be a
Getting
segment.
this on audiobook for free with a free trial of
Yep.
audio.
I'm gonna read it.
Time for a
Jesse, no.
I can read it live.
PSA for the audience. Dear audience, do not mate with raptors. It will cost you your life.
Dear audience, when you see the headline, Jesse reads aloud, run.
Next
like
one.
To kill this, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, what's the next one?
Dude, something that might get us banned off YouTube. What the hell is this? Richard Blade, Jewel of Tharn. What is she doing? I mean, I know what it looks
If
like.
I have to explain it, then you have more problems than liking Taylor Swift.
Can you explain it to me, Becky?
Not without us getting banned off YouTube.
I mean, Jesus. Like,
He doesn't even have anything on. I mean, look.
he's just
has
so
Not
blatant.
even Tarzan.
on.
It's not even Tarzan level shit. Right?
Right.
It actually looks like she's got her hand under her chin.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think it's her hand.
What is that supposed to be? His balls? Oh my God, is that her?
Well, I don't think it's that either.
That's like his dick, kind of like pressed against her neck or something, like tucked under.
Pretty much what I found to figure.
No. Let's not get carried away. He's a white guy. That's. If you look at it closely, that's her hair.
You're so racist.
That's her blonde hair, kind of going right there. That little spot, that's her blonde hair. That's what it is. Look at it
Not
closely.
her blonde hair.
I'm with you. I'm going to go with the blonde hair because it's just less traumatic.
Yeah.
So they're in a zombie post-apocalypse see, because it looks like zombies in the background, like going after some brains.
I think it's Stonehenge.
Stonehenge zombies,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got a naked chick, you know, sucking his dick, or
And
giving
his
him a
crotch,
hand
yeah.
job. But yet he's focused like a laser on throwing this goddamn spear. He's gonna end up stabbing himself in the foot.
Yeah, right. Have you
Or her in the top of the head.
Have you ever tried to do something that requires precise aim? Like, while doing that, like, what about like
While doing what?
Other than like opening and closing my eyes.
Yeah, like
that's about it.
This is fucking crazy. He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get serious hurt. He's gonna hurt someone else. He might throw that spear into like one of his brethren or something.
And why is he so upset about the whole situation? It looks kind of cranky.
This is great. You mean to tell me that this dude is like, you know, being serviced while he's like throwing spears at things?
So here's the clue in the blurb here. It says he's the hero god of a female-dominated society. So this is something new to him. He's getting blown like all day long.
So he's like, gotcha.
So he's like, chick, get off of me! I gotta throw this fucking spear.
Gotcha. And a female-dominated society. So lesbian is what they're getting at. Lesbian. A lesbian society. He's the one hero god, so he looks like Thor. Yeah. I mean...
Okay, so my question is, real or not real?
Oh, this is totally...
This is real. This is as real as Satan was a lesbian. This is real.
What do you say, Angela?
Stonehenge is real. I see that.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want the rest of it to be real. I just don't want it to be real.
Well, I hate to do this to you, Angela. Love you, but unfortunately, it is real, and it is 3.5 stars, and only has 2 customer reviews, and it's from 1990. It's from 1969.
I think they worked that 69 in there on purpose. Yeah.
The book cover says 75 cents, and they're selling it for $9.75.
Huh.
I will pay money to see how many sales they got.
I have no clue.
What's the book ranking? It kind of give you an idea. It's probably going to be like in the million.
5,766,671 in books.
So like
man, you know, that one's coming right up on my list then.
I think we should join up in a book club just to read these
horrible novels.
That's what I'm thinking.
60s
No.
and 70s.
Well,
no.
Actually,
passages, just passages.
Actually, Becky.
No.
Becky.
No.
Becky.
No.
No.
I am not reading this. I am not reading this. I am not doing a review on it.
You just have to do the lady parts. Oh, that didn't come out right.
No.
I'm thinking, with as much crap Nickolaus Pacione is doing, I think it's time I actually...
You're going to mail it to him?
No, that would be interesting. No, I'm actually going to review his issue Gazette number 5 or 7, whatever it is.
Can we read it aloud?
We can.
No.
We can.
Oh my God!
Kind of.
Do we have to?
I want to.
He'll threaten to sue you.
Fair use, baby.
He could try. He could try, but lawyers are expensive.
We have a lawyer on retainer now from the last podcast.
No, we don't, because Jesse didn't pay him.
Oh, wait. I was supposed to cover that one? Oh, damn it. That's the second attorney I lost. Man. Okay, Angela.
Are y'all ready for news?
I'm ready for news. Angela, are you ready to have your world blown? Here we go. What's coming up? What's coming up?
Okay, well, the first one, I have to admit that I did find this quite amusing. Man denies ownership of syringes found in his rectum during jail strip search.
Does it say what state the man is from?
Yes, it does. He's from Florida.
Oh, of course.
So
Florida man.
here's the story. He was arrested. He's 40 years old. He was arrested early Friday on an outstanding warrant charging him with drug possession. While he was being searched in the field, he denied having any illegal items on him. So they took him to jail. Well, when they got to jail, he removed 3 syringes from his rectum and provided them to the jailer. Then claimed that he found the syringes and that they were not his.
Huh.
Yes, you heard me correctly.
Just found him in his ass.
The court filing does not reveal whether he named the purported owner of the syringes that had been found in his butt, or whether that individual had consented to his works being stored in such a facility.
You know that little questionnaire that you go through with the wording with the airline agent when you're checking in baggage? Has your baggage been with you the whole time? Did you pack it yourself? This sounds like questions they need to start asking. Did you pack your ass yourself? My God. No, I don't know where those came from.
Well, it looks like somebody.
Yeah, I mean, oh my Lord.
Looks like somebody was using his ass as a pocket, man. In that case, yeah, that syringe is yours, brother.
No doubt. But
Who
how
else had
could he
access
not
to
know?
his ass?
You probably do not even want to ask that question.
How do you shove a syringe up your ass? I mean, it had the cap on, right? Like the protective cap.
I don't know. It didn't say. I didn't ask that.
Do you mind if
I
I
would
don't
assume
sit
so.
down for this interview?
I want to know why when they got him to jail and they strip searched him, he knew that he wasn't supposed to have them. So why did he give them to him?
Because it would have been worse if they found him. It would have been worse for him.
Yeah, because they pull
hard
him
as that is to believe. Strip searching and cavity searching are not always the same thing.
Well, that's true too. Red blinking lights. Red lights outside.
Red light? You have a red light? What?
No, somebody. I don't know if somebody's here or something. There was a wreck outside or something. Okay.
You don't have to put on the red light, Becky.
No, not anymore.
Up.
Not anymore.
Shut up. Shut up.
So, Angela, what do you think? You have any experience? Do you have to deal with this?
Is this a common banking problem?
No, you know better than that shit. My Lord. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we made
a man. Oh my Lord, I'm going to hurt him. A man eating oysters in a Manhattan restaurant got quite a surprise when something unexpected and precious went from the plate to his mouth.
That sounds wrong.
Are we mixed stories here?
No. I knew as soon as I read that out loud, I was like, damn it. It was a pearl worth thousands of dollars.
Huh. Really?
It was the best oyster pan roast I ever ordered, the guy said with a laugh. At first, he didn't even know he had found a pearl. We were engaged in conversation, and all of a sudden, whoop, what is that? I didn't bite on it, but I sensed something was odd. I thought maybe it was a filling or a tooth. He explained the pea-sized shape texture, noting it was not perfectly round, and another thing about it jumped out at him. He saw a black dot on the pearl, and that really intrigued him. He thought it was something that broke off a utensil from the kitchen. The restaurant confirmed that yes, it was a pearl, adding that finding one this way is extremely rare.
Because the kitchen staff is supposed to find it.
I'm surprised.
One chef in the restaurant says he's been there 28 years, and this is only the second time this has happened. He said
he was allowed to keep
pearls,
it?
Yeah, the pearl. He bought the plate of oysters, I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't the...
heard that the pearl...
I'm sorry.
I don't know. He said the pearl is worth thousands of dollars, but he won't have it appraised because he won't be selling it, as long as his crafty cat doesn't somehow swipe it. He says he will stay with him and bring him luck.
I would sell it.
There's so much wrong with this story. I mean, how unobservant does the whole world have to be for this rock this sea rock to get into this guy's fucking mouth? I mean, the kitchen
First of all,
shucked the oyster, opened it up, nobody saw it. The server carried it out and put it right in front of him, and he ate it and didn't even look. And he couldn't tell until he bit down. What the fuck's wrong with people?
I'm looking at... I can't even talk right now. I'm looking at the image of these oysters. I don't even like oysters. And seeing this, I'm just like, ugh, I can't stomach it. I wouldn't even look at it. Even if I had to eat these on a dare, I would just close my eyes and just swallow.
Would you rather have bull balls than oysters?
I'd rather have bull balls than oysters. Any day. Any day.
I don't want either one of them, but I'm telling you, there is no way in the name of anything that would even make me consider putting a raw oyster anywhere near my face.
So, Becky, you would choose bull balls over oysters? You have to choose one.
If I had to choose one, yeah, I have to say, I can fry the shit out of anything, but I'm not eating an oyster.
I've never had oysters, but I've had raw clams.
Well, oh no!
I swallowed a raw clam 3 times once.
Why? Oh, 3 times? Like, oh yeah, same one I'm taking it.
Yeah. It's like cold boogers. You like oysters, Angela?
No, that also for me they're just gross.
Yeah,
they're slimy.
No, it's like having
slimy
flu.
And they,
like having what?
Yeah, exactly. The flu.
Like having flu.
You know, cough. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's like it's like swallowing somebody else's snot after it's sitting on the plate.
Yeah, it's just worse.
Oh my God! Did you really just say that?
It's just horrible.
Ew.
It's horrible. And like,
okay, it gets better. You ready for the next?
Well, I'm still surprised that the restaurant actually let them keep it because, I mean, like they could have been like, well, we bought that oyster like wholesale and that's ours. Like, we're gonna just take it from you.
I don't think. No, that would be such a PR disaster for them.
Yeah, I don't think that wasn't a good game plan.
Yeah, I guess so.
Besides which, I mean, technically he hadn't paid for it, but he had ordered it and would be paying for it. So yeah, that would have been such a bad move on their part.
Hey, if y'all are still hungry,
no,
check the next one out. All right, Becky. Oh my God, I don't. Can I keep this on the screen for too long? All right.
This guy served his friends tacos when they came over to eat. The problem with this is that he made them from his own amputated leg.
Oh no, sis.
Okay.
Are you serious?
So Florida man, just assuming, no longer has any
No,
friends.
he's in Idaho.
Oh my God.
Oh, Rocky Mountain.
Idaho or Florida? I think we're coming up with the trivia game here.
Idaho or
Listen
Florida.
listen to this. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Listen to this. The United States doesn't have a federal law banning cannibalism.
Of course not. You need to keep it on the books.
Laws against murder, buying and selling human meat, and corpse desecration make cannibalism difficult, but technically legal in the other 49 states.
Yeah. Because you gotta keep the options. You gotta keep the options open.
Oh, in Idaho, it's the simple act of eating human flesh lands you in prison.
Oh.
Well, see, there's not 1 point for Idaho.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
Now,
mean,
but what really?
It's going to say something about meat and potatoes.
But what's really wrong with
Now,
eating
he
human
gave
meat?
an explanation of why he did it.
Oh yeah, what's the explanation?
Yeah. Oh, please.
Well, he said originally he wanted to have it taxidermied or freeze-dried. How cool would it be to have my freeze-dried or taxidermied put standing around the house as a lamp? Or a doorstop or something.
No.
Yeah. It's not going to be cremated and
Not at
chucked
all.
into a landfill. It's part of me and I want it back. Well, okay, if he wanted it back, why did he feed it to his friends? Because now he ain't getting it back.
Nobody's eating at this guy's house ever again.
Well, no, he's going to
For one
prison.
thing. For one thing. So
How did you convince the doctor to give it back to you?
you just have
Most
to ask.
hospitals have policies where they release your body parts to you because of some religious where you have to be buried whole. So I just signed the paperwork.
But why was it amputated? This is a very salient question. Why the fuck did they cut his leg off?
And
Well,
what is so wrong with
asked-
eating human meat? That's the big question. What if he was like, "Hey guys, you guys have been friends. We've been friends forever since childhood. I think it's time to take our friendship to the next level." I
got back,
I want me inside of you all the way. What? God damn it, it's horrible.
God.
I want to pass
When
through.
we got back to, his mom took him to pick it up, okay? When we got back to my house, I took the foot out, and it was
They
so
don't
gross.
deliver.
He got
It
his
was
mom
covered in
involved.
blood and had iodine all over it. After I cleaned it up, I was pleasantly surprised by how well preserved it was.
Well,
But then you think about beef, which can be dried for months.
Why
I suppose it
amputated?
made sense.
was
Yeah.
it disease? That's a common reason, right? Like, there's something wrong. Look, there's something wrong with the leg. That's why they cut it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they just cut it off.
That's not. I mean,
He said, they asked him, how did you convince 10 friends to eat the foot with you? I invited 11 people. Like, I said something like, remember how we always talked about how if we ever had the chance to ethically eat human meat, you would do it? Well, I'm calling you on that. Or we're going to do this or what? 10 said yes. I guess we're a weird group. There were several different friends involved. I approached the group and they were like, totally. How are you going to do this? One said she'd ask her boyfriend, the chef, if he would do the cooking. The final tally, and the chef and his girlfriend, he'd known him for 10 years, helped me cook it. He said, I'm going to prepare it, and you guys just come over tomorrow. He marinated it overnight and sauteed it with onions, peppers, salt, pepper, and lime juices. Then he served it on corn tortillas with tomatillo sauce.
That that marinade doesn't sound too bad. I mean,
Here's the most, how did it taste? People think it tastes like pork.
we taste like pig.
makes sense, right?
It does. It does. It tastes like pork. Huh. Wow.
Oh my god.
Hey, I hear.
So
I
the
hear.
problem,
What's-
Jesse,
It had a
should-
very beefy flavor to it.
Oh.
One
like
friend
pork
had to
and
spit
beef?
me into a napkin.
It was. No, it was really good.
I hear.
It was he had it amputated because he was in an accident
Oh.
Oh, so
and they couldn't
damage.
reattach it.
So that's a better. I mean, if you're gonna do this, which is not recommended, although technically you can Hannibal Lecter as long as you don't murder.
Just get volunteers, I guess.
No. So the reason why they went around in New Guinea and talked all of the headhunter tribes into giving up cannibalism is because they would eat the brain and the spinal fluid, and that's where you run into problems. It's not the meat,
Yeah,
but
the
it's the
prion.
brain. Yeah, it's the brain and the spinal fluid where you can get these nasty diseases.
Yeah, the what do they call it? The Kuru disease or the laughing disease. You get the prions. You get that from eating dead human brain.
So, listen, zombies, you might want to reconsider your diet. It's not doing you any favors. Just saying.
You gotta be a vegan diet, a vegan zombie.
Just, go for the meat.
Go for the fat. Yeah, go for where
fat.
the flavor's at. It rhymes, so you know it's right. Go for the fat. That's where the flavor's at. All right. I think we have one other story. I don't know. Yeah. I want to talk about this real fast. Kind of get. Angela, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay. Feel free to chime in on this. All right. So Black Panther. Golden Globes.
Movie?
Yeah, the movie. I don't follow the Golden Globes. I couldn't care less, But I found it hilarious that people were freaking out because Black Panther was snubbed at the Golden Globes. Like, it didn't win anything. It was nominated for 26 different awards, but didn't win a damn thing. And that's because there's other movies that's competing against.
How many awards did, say, X-Men get?
I
By
have no
comparison.
idea. I have no idea.
Right? See, this is the thing. The awards shows hate giving out awards to two categories in particular: comedy and comic book.
Yeah.
Well, frankly, any kind of action.
Yeah.
They despise that to their very core. They will do anything to avoid giving out awards to the movies in those genres.
But it was the most progressive superhero movie of all time. That's what they'll say.
And not enough.
not enough. But Wakanda. It's like, no. And people got butthurt and got angry because Bohemian Rhapsody won. It's like, it's a better movie.
But that was a great movie.
It's a better movie.
That was such a good movie. You know let me tell you how good Bohemian Rhapsody was. It was the first movie I saw in a theater in 18 months. And I don't regret that in any way. I'd go see it again.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good a movie Bohemian Rhapsody is. I still have not seen that Black Cat guy movie. What's it called?
Black Panther?
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't.
It's sitting there on.
It's sitting there on. I'm sorry. What?
It's sitting there on Netflix.
Yeah.
Waiting for me to click it, but they have a really shitty image to show it off. It's such a bad.
Well, let that be what it is.
Bad image.
It's
like lit by a high school kid.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching this one Black Panther in theaters when it came out, but just the press around it was like, oh man, this is like the most progressive one. Oh my god, it represents. But then I'm like, are you guys crazy? Like Wakanda, the whole fiction Wakanda was created by like 2 white guys, and it's a fictional country that is like, let me get this right, it's the wealthiest country. It has like advanced medical technology that can pretty much cure death and cancer and shit. They have this crazy technology, this advanced science, and they're not sharing it with anyone else in Africa. South Africa.
Progressive. There's one other thing that the award shows hate, and I had a friend point this out to me. They hate if a movie makes money. They really do. They despise. I mean, they're all sitting there making millions of dollars a year, but they will not vote for a movie that makes money.
Yeah, they're like the RC ones.
Yes.
But
how good could it be how good could it possibly be if the common people like it?
But here we lucked out with Bohemian, because it was a good movie, had a good score.
Yep.
Now the only thing that could have made
it's about a gay guy, so that helped.
Yeah. I think Bohemian could have went deeper into. It could have went. You know, it didn't really have to go any deeper, but it could. You know, because it kind of hinted at his drugs. You know, the drug addiction and all that shit. How it was messing with him, but it didn't really go into the full depth of it. But it was a great film.
I thought it was done enough. I didn't. You know, you knew what was going on. You knew that it was effective, and it was. So, Angela, do you have movie theaters in Africa? I'm just curious.
I think I know. we do. But I'm just quiet because I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody or Black Panther. I put Black Panther.
I haven't either.
But I kind of switched it off 5 minutes later. There was just something about it just didn't work, so I just ditched it. I'm a bit bad like that.
But it's the most progressive superhero movie ever, and it takes place in Africa.
It's the first black superhero in the history of cinema.
And
except for the others that came before it,
like Blade.
Like Blade.
And I love superhero movies. Hey, I love all the Marvel movies, and that I really love them. But Black Panther, I just could not. I'm even trying to remember what the beginning was about. It was like that. It just didn't. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
Well, do you like horror movies?
You know what? I used to like horror movies, but now, they kind of haunt me. Yes. I watched. What was that one? There was something where this like ghost thing sits on the TV, and after I watched that movie, I just
Poltergeist.
No, it was one of the newer ones.
The Ring.
It was actually a series of them.
Stranger Things.
No.
Or was it a
The Ring?
Different
The
stories?
Ring. Was it the ghost coming out of the TV?
No, it was just sat on the TV at one point. It was like this. Can't remember now what the name of the movie was. But there was three, and I watched the first one, so that's why I watched the second one. But then for like nights after that, every time I switched the TV off, I had to run up the stairs. And then when I get to my bedroom, then I have to like take a running jump onto the bed just in case that thing is under the bed, because they hide under the bed, you know.
Oh yeah, of course they do. Of course they do.
And how is it? I'm still trying to sort this out because it's a very universal thing that you grow up with as a kid, and then you somehow retain this as an adult, that beds are somehow off limits to ghouls and monsters. It's like the safe zone is if you're under the covers, if you're on the bed, protected by the blanket, they can't harm you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, you don't do that when someone.
Mara can do it. Mara can get on the bed.
And how is it that how do we manage to hang on to this belief system well into adulthood? It's amazing.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a good question.
We don't cross the line.
I mean, it's not like you run to the bed when someone like invades your home or something, you know?
Right? If you had somebody chasing you with a gun, you're not going to hide under a blanket.
Maybe that's the problem.
But a ghost can't touch me. Ta-da! I'm safe. People make no sense.
So that was the end of my horror movie watching because it takes a week for me to get back to normal.
Oh my gosh. Horror movies don't do anything for me. It's just like stupid people doing stupid shit and getting killed. Although I do love Tucker and Dale. I got
that was a good one.
Props to them.
That
was hilarious. I mean, it was hilarious.
No,
yeah, I do like that. I did like that one.
But otherwise, horror movies and the start to Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
That I really enjoyed that. Actually, that was a really, really different take. I like that.
That Choose Your Adventure horror thing that Netflix has. Black Mirror, right? Was it Black Mirror thing? What was it called?
Bender.
Yeah.
Slang or something.
They could have used Cabin in the Woods like for that because it's totally set up for something like that. But like choose what item to pick, and they pick the item, and it totally changes how it goes and stuff.
Does it?
I mean, it would be entertaining.
This is the thing. This is the thing that I have a strong suspicion. I watched it once, and frankly, I found the storyline was really weak. And it's only interesting because you get to select things. I think if you just watch the story straight through, you'd be like, "This is stupid."
Oh, you're talking about the Black Mirror. I'm like, the Black Mirror one I haven't seen, but Cabin in the Woods. You know how like it's all set up like a game, and you know, they choose whatever they want. Imagine if they remade it. I hate the idea of a remake.
If they went back to that.
Yeah, we're like, okay.
That would be awesome.
What item do they choose? And can you see, like, what monster do they summon? Are you going to get the merman? Was it the merman? Was it that freaking... the merman. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Crazy looking thing. But that would be fun. But no.
Was that Chris Helmsworth?
Mm-hmm.
It was. It had one of the funniest openings to a horror movie ever, when his girlfriend finds a textbook in his luggage, and she goes, "Where did you get this? Where did you get this?" He goes, "I learned it from you." That was hilarious.
It was a good. It was a good film. It was.
Yeah.
Angela. So what are you working on now? Like, what's your latest thing you're working on? I know you mentioned your new book that's out.
Oh, tell me you're working on Ripley.
Yeah, I'm working on Ripley. So that was part of getting the Book of Menace out, so that I could get that off my plate. And now I've started working on One Night, which is my book under Ripley. So the reason I'm writing it there is because it's completely different to the other stuff that I've done.
Gotcha.
And I'm still doing my testing on the branding. So I've got about 60 pages done One Night. I think One Night might be some of my best work. And so, I'll get stuck into that one now. Focus fully on that until that one's finished. So I hope to get that done now. But I also don't want to release that until I've got at least 500,000 followers on the Ripley profile. So
Jeez Louise.
I'm trying to work that up.
That's just astonishing to me. And how do you think that came to pass, getting so many followers?
So I think I was doing testing with the marketing really to see what people like. And I think often when we're trying to get ourselves out in the market, we try to be too perfect. We try to be too appropriate. We try to be too right, you know? So when I invented Ripley really is me. It's me with a wig. So if you Google Ripley Archer now, it brings up tons of photos of me with my fabulous blonde wig. Which was all part of my testing of the hashtags as well, to see how to create an online presence, because people find you more credible when you have an online presence. So if they Google, people will say, "Oh, so you're right." I say, "Well, yeah," and then they say, "Well, so if I Google you, you'd be there." So it's kind of like, so if you're not on Google, you're not real. So that was kind of what inspired my mission with Ripley, was to say, well, if I get Ripley on Google, so if someone Googles Ripley and she comes up under images and comes up on, has all these profiles, does that mean Ripley is real? So what is real in our world? And as we're becoming more digitized, people see things as not real if it doesn't have an online presence.
That's true.
So, yeah, and I think part of the branding that I do with people now, we actually help them to rebrand themselves. We are raised to be not arrogant. Don't be arrogant. Don't be rude. Don't be full of yourself. Those are the things that we get told by our parents, grandparents, society, teachers. Wind your neck in, they say. Go and sit in the corner. Be quiet. Know your place. There's all the stuff that we learn, and yet that is exactly what sort of debilitates us when we're older. So now we write a book, we make a movie, we sing a song, but we're too embarrassed to actually say, look what I did, because we've been told always to shut up and be smaller. Right. So I guess by creating almost an alter ego with creating Ripley, it gave me approval to get a bit more out there, because I guess even in my own persona I'm a bit more careful with what I do and what I say. But Ripley is a time bender, and Ripley doesn't care, and Ripley sells sass, and she's really a bit of a go-getter. So I think I've enhanced the personality to test what happens. I think even on my LinkedIn profile, now LinkedIn is conservative and everybody's always like all over there, like the LinkedIn police, can't do this, can't do that. And on my actual profile, I say my motto in life is to not be an asshole. And the response I've got on that is amazing. People send me private messages and they say, I love your profile. Within 4 months, I got nearly 9,000 followers just on LinkedIn, which is weird, because LinkedIn is really like that. People don't just connect. People really want to check you out. I don't know, everybody's so private. I don't know what they think you're going to steal, but okay. But
be careful.
Everyone just loves
be
Ripley.
careful.
I love it.
Nickolaus Pacione lurks on the LinkedIn.
But we caught him.
I'm totally getting a blonde wig now.
Right?
Oh my Lord!
That could be my
Pictures,
problem.
or it didn't happen.
You know what? I think that will help launch the show. We need to have SK in a blonde wig.
You know what? My hair is close enough to blonde as it is.
Oh my Lord!
Oh man,
it's just.
I think.
No, it's just there's not much color left. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, it happens. In fact, if anything, it makes it better, doesn't it?
I have plenty of hair. I don't care what color it is.
All right.
It's been a thrill having you on, Angela.
Oh yeah.
And I want to take this chance to say publicly and vocally, thank you for writing my foreword. It's the most incredible foreword anybody could hope for.
No, you're so welcome, and your book was amazing. So I'm just proud actually to be associated with that. So it's really a pleasure.
Well, it was our pleasure of having you on the show. It was great. Definitely enjoyed talking to you, learning more about your work. Definitely learning more about bees. I know I joke a lot, but when do I not?
Right?
Ladies, gentlemen, if you made it this far, press a thumbs up button, subscribe, share, and y'all take it easy. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much for having me.
No problem.
Thank you for being here.